HelpMeWithStats.com was used to create this tutorial that can help us visualize the population standard deviation. Let's work through the population standard deviation calculation, and we'll use some visual displays that will help us remember how the formula works. Let's start with the population scores of 1, 2, 5, and 8, which have a population mean of 4. Next, let's see the sum of squares formula. Let's show some displays that will help us remember the formula. Here is the square deviation for the first score of 1. We've created a green square below the squared deviation. The size of the square is the square deviation of the first score from the mean. For this score of 1, the square deviation is 1 minus 4 squared, which works out to 9. Here is the square deviation for the next score of 2, along with another green square. The area of the green square is equal to the square deviation. From this point, we will not focus on the actual scores, but on the concept of the squares and how they are used to determine the standard deviation. Here are the 2 squares for the remaining 2 scores. To see the sum of squares, we create a new square which has the same area as the total area of all 4 squares. As we can see, the sum of squares is an actual sum of squares, where the thing being summed is the areas of the squares. The variance is calculated by taking our sum of squares and dividing it by the number of scores. With 4 scores, we can divide the sum of squares into 4 smaller squares easily. Each smaller green square has an area equal to the variance. Each of these 4 squares has the same size, and the area of these squares is the variance. Let's focus on one square. The yellow square has an area equal to the variance of the scores. At this point, we have a clear visual display of the variance. But let's go a bit further. The standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Visually, this is easy to see. The square root of an area is simply the length of the side of a square. The red line indicates the square root of the yellow square. Therefore, the length of the red line is the standard deviation, 2.738. For more help with statistics, HelpMeWithStats.com is a free website that has more than 70 tutorials, as videos, or as self-paced slideshows. You can also learn how to conduct more than 60 statistical analyses by watching videos that show complete solutions, or by working through an unlimited number of examples using the step-by-step problem solvers. Finally, you can access a comprehensive stats textbook with more than 685 review questions. Thanks for watching. If you find these resources valuable, please share with your friends, teachers, and professors.